Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back another video day. And today, the Houston Astros start a series against the Texas Rangers, and we're going to be previewing that series. Rough series for the Astros. Last time out against the Tampa Bay Rays, they lose the series 2-1, and the last game was very unfortunate. Spencer Arrighetti went out there and had his best outing of his rookie season, pitching 6 innings. Giving up only 1 run with 12 strikeouts, only gave up 2 walks. He looked phenomenal, but the offense could not score a single run. The end of the homestand was really weird, or really the whole homestand. Started off so good. This was one of the longest homestands the Astros have had all season. And it started off so good with 2 great wins against the Dodgers, with a 5-0 win where they dominated the Dodgers, and then they have the Saturday game last Saturday where they're down 5-0 against the Dodgers, down 6-1, and things looked so bad for these Astros, but they come back and they win 7-6 with a walk-off Bregman home run. And then after that, we would see the Astros lose the last game against the Dodgers series, the first 2 games against the Pirates. Then they would go on to win the last game of the Pirates series and the first game of the Rays series, but then lose the final 2 games against the Pirates series. So here's how the homestand went. They won the first 2, then they lost 3 games, then they won 2 games, and then they lost the final 2 games. So it was definitely an up and down homestand. Astros don't finish with a 500 record in the homestand, 4-5. For a team that's been, not getting a lot of off days recently, not a lot of off days throughout this homestand, and also you can tell their bats are tired. 4-5, I'm not going to complain about it, especially playing some solid teams. The Rays are average, the Dodgers are good, and the Pirates are, I would say, probably above average. So, 4-5, it's not what you wanted to see them go get, but just got to hope that going into the road trip that the Astros can get the job done, and we just got to hope that they can do that against the Texas Rangers coming up for 3 games. And let's go over this series. So the Astros will play the Rangers for a 3-game series starting off today, Monday, August 5th, and this game is at 7:05. The pitching matchup is between Hunter Brown and Andrew Heaney. You can watch this game on Space City Home Network. And so on Monday, we're going to see Hunter Brown, who in his last 15 starts has a 2.62 ERA. His last start, he did go 6 innings, giving up 4 runs and 8 strikeouts against the Pirates. And then on the road this year, because the Astros are traveling to Arlington, he has 10 starts on the road this year with a 5-4 record, 55 innings pitched, an ERA of 4.61, giving up 28 earned runs on the road. Now, I will say, I think that ERA on the road this year is so weak because of his outing in Kansas City earlier in the year where he gave up 9 or 8 runs in that first inning against the Royals, back when we had the completely different Hunter Brown. There's this new reborn Hunter Brown that we see now in his last 15 starts with a 2.62 ERA. But his road ERA at 4.61 is really weak just because of the fact of that outing with the Astros earlier in the year in Kansas City. But in night games, this is pretty interesting. In night games, though, for Hunter Brown, because this is a night game, he has a 7-3 record with a 3.04 ERA and 13 starts and pitching 77 innings. Now, I want to get to Hunter Brown's numbers against the Texas Rangers because in 24 innings of work, Hunter Brown has been very successful against the Rangers. In 5 starts, he has a 3-2 record with a 3.46 ERA. And for a young guy, that's not bad at all. All right, now the other pitcher that is going to be pitching for the Texas Rangers tomorrow, Monday, is Andrew Heaney. I like this pitching matchup for the Astros. Andrew Heaney is a guy who struggled this season. He's a 4-11 record. His last 2 starts have been horrendous. He has a 6.3 ERA in his last 2 starts since coming out of the All-Star break. So not only does he have 4.38 ERA in 21 starts this year, in his last start he gave up 6 runs and not even 5 innings of work, but also he's been a guy that has struggled against the Astros. A 3.9 ERA against the Astros with a 4-6 record in 18 games pitched against the Astros. As he's played for a lot of teams in the AL West, he pitched for the Angels. He's pitched for the Rangers now as well. But the main thing, and I'm excited for tomorrow, seeing Jose Altuve. Jose Altuve is not just a Ranger killer, and we're not going to just see that in this series. Jose Altuve is also an Andrew Heaney killer. Jose Altuve's numbers against Andrew Heaney, he's 13 for 44, batting .295 with 2 homers and 3 doubles. We saw Jose Altuve struggling massively in that series against the Tampa Bay Rays. I believe Altuve finished it was 1 for 9 or 2 for 9 in that series. I believe it was 1 for 9. It was 1 for 9 with 2 walks for Jose Altuve in that series against the Tampa Bay Rays. It was really bad. So I'm really excited to see what Jose Altuve goes out there and does against Andrew Heaney, a guy he has dominated in his career. That should be really fun to see. Not only is Jose, obviously a killer of the Rangers, we've seen that, but he's even better against Andrew Heaney. So that will be an interesting one. Making a prediction for tomorrow's game, I'm going to say the Astros get the win. Hunter Brown has been excellent. He has been better on the road. His ERA is probably under 4 if you do not count the start where he gave up 9 runs in the first inning against Kansas City. That was brutal. But he's been pitching really good. His last 15 starts has a 2.62 ERA. And he's going up against a guy, Andrew Heaney, the other pitcher for the Rangers, who's absolutely been terrible in his last 2 starts. Has been terrible the whole year. Not only has he been bad this year, and most recently, but he's also had struggles against the Astros and mainly Jose Altuve. So I'm predicting the Astros offense gets going. I think Jose Altuve has a good game tomorrow and the Astros get a win. Now, it's a little bit harder to predict the other games because the Texas Rangers have not announced a starter. But on Tuesday, August 6th, game 7:05 as well, Framber Valdez will be on the mound. His last start against the Pirates on Wednesday. He pitched 6 innings, giving up 4 runs with 10 strikeouts. And I know that he did give up 4 runs in 6 innings, but very impressive that he got 10 strikeouts, which tied a season high for him, and didn't give up a single walk. This year, Framber Valdez has been pretty good on the road, as he, in 9 starts, has a 3.88 ERA with a 4-3 record, pitching 53 innings with 43 strikeouts. Also, in night games for Framber Valdez this year, he has a 3.23 ERA in 12 starts, as the game is at 7:05. Framber's numbers are really good against the Texas Rangers, which I think is the most important part, as he has a 2.90 ERA in 13 starts, a 7-5 record, pitching 84 innings with 89, or actually, never mind, it's 84 strikeouts in 89 innings. So, Framber Valdez has put up some great numbers against the Texas Rangers, so that is an upside. Now, the problem is we don't know who's starting for the Texas Rangers yet. Then the final game Wednesday is 1:10, so the only day game for the Astros in this series, and that will be that final game of the series, and Yusei Kikuchi will be on the mound for the Astros, making his second start. Now, a little bit of bad news. Yusei Kikuchi definitely was great in his first start as an Astro. Pitched 5 2/3 with 11 strikeouts, 2 earned runs, 3 walks, had 8 straight strikeouts, had a huge run after giving up 2 runs to start the game, was fantastic. Now, Kikuchi has had some poor numbers on the road this year, and not only on the road, but in day games as well. This year on the road, in 10 starts, he's pitched 48 innings with a 2-2 record with a 4.69 ERA, giving up 25 earned runs. Day games, 11 starts with a 6.06 ERA, 52 innings, and has a 1-5 record. Now, here's the important thing. Again, we don't know who the hell is going to be on the mound for the Texas Rangers, so that's another thing. But the important thing to think about is that this is a guy who's changed a little bit as a pitcher since we saw him go from Toronto to Houston. He's throwing the changeup better. If you ask me, I believe he has a better infield behind him. I know with the high strikeouts in his last outing, with him retiring a total of 17 batters, and he had 11 strikeouts. There weren't a lot of ground balls, but I think you will see more ground balls potentially for Yusei in this next start for him. He's a guy who does get a lot of ground balls, and this infield's a lot better for him than it was in Toronto. I think there are a lot of things that makes him a better pitcher in Houston than Toronto, and you saw that in his first outing. So I don't think he's going to do as bad as what the numbers read from the day games and the road games that he had this year in Toronto with the Blue Jays. But I am just noting the fact that he has struggled this year on the road, and he has struggled this year, you know, when playing a day game. So that is notable for that Wednesday game. But here's the thing. Tuesday, Wednesday, we don't know who is starting for the Rangers. That will be interesting to see. They haven't announced that yet. All they've announced is Andrew Heaney on Monday. So for predictions for this series, Monday, I'm going to go with the Astros winning Monday. Have their offense wakes up, what we've been waiting to see, especially going up against Andrew Heaney. I think this is the perfect chance for the Astros to wake up. And completely honest, as someone who's had faith this year, if the Astros offense can't wake up against Andrew Heaney, a guy who is struggling, I don't know what to do. I don't know if there's any hope at all for this Astros team, or this Astros, I'm not going to say team, because the pitching has been fine most of the times. I don't think there's any hope for this Astros hitting the hitters if they can't get going against Andrew Heaney. But I am predicting that the Astros, mainly Jose Altuve being the Ranger killer he is, and being an Andrew Heaney killer, will have a great game on Monday, and they'll get a win. I know we don't know who's starting on Tuesday, but if the offense wakes up in one game, they're gonna keep it going. And having Framber Valdez on the mound with that on Tuesday, with his dominant numbers against the Rangers in his career, I think the Astros get a win. Now I want to say the Astros get a sweep and end up taking all 3 games. But this is a road series. It is hard to get a road sweep. I'm not going out with this prediction and saying that Yusei Kikuchi is going to struggle and he's going to do bad, and he's going to make y'all question this trade and absolutely flame the Astros organization for making the trade again after that first great outing. But I just think that if the Astros start off with offensively with 2 great games, their offense is going to calm down. And I'm not saying that we're going to see a bad game from Kikuchi. I just think we're not going to see as good as an outing as what we saw in his last outing. I think this is an outing where he goes in the area of, probably five or 6 innings and gives up 3 or 4 runs, which, look, for him and what he's done with the Blue Jays and what he's done on road games and, with road games and day games, those aren't bad numbers. So if he can go out there and give you 6 innings, giving up 3 or 4 runs, and the offense backs him up and they keep it as a close game when the bullpen comes in, I wouldn't be disappointed with that, because I know that Yusei has been a guy who struggle when pitching on the road and struggle when pitching in day games. But I'm hoping that has been something that has just been with the Blue Jays this year. He had other struggles with the Blue Jays that changed in his first Astros start. And then suddenly there were things that we were seeing in his first start as an Astro that Blue Jays fans and the Blue Jays were not seeing. So that can totally be different. But I am going to predict the Astros lose the final game of the series on Wednesday. But I'm going to predict that they win the first 2 and then they lose the final game and finish off this series with them, a series win 2-1. But I wouldn't be surprised with the pitching talent and just the feeling that this offense, it's time for this offense to wake up, especially going up against the Rangers team, really doesn't know who they're going to pitch. I know Nathan Eovaldi's not going to pitch. He just pitched yesterday on Sunday. So it's going to be interesting. I mean, they have one of their worst starting pitchers on the mound on Monday. They don't know who's pitching on Tuesday and Wednesday. And then the Astros have Framber and Hunter on the mound in the first 2 games. And then the last game, they have a guy who just pitched almost 6 innings and had 11 strikeouts. So I think that as sweep as possible, but I think it's more safe to say the Astros probably win 2 out of the 3 in this series and walk away winning the season series against the Rangers, because this series, this year the Astros are 5-5 against the Rangers. So the season series right now is tied. So whoever wins this series wins the season series between the 2 teams. So that's going to be big. I know the Astros right now, they have a big lead, 4.5 game lead on the Rangers, but there's still a lot of season left. And if they can win this series, I mean, a sweep would be nice, but if they can just win this series, that would be amazing. And if you could win the series, then you win the season series and you hold a tiebreaker. So that would be the best scenario for the Astros, is to win the series and walk away getting 2 out of the 3. But I think a sweep is possible. Let me know your thoughts on the series in the comment section. Give me your predictions. Everybody, let's go root for our Astros. That's the video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and peace out.